In the heart of the mile-high city, under the shadow of the Rockies, lies a place of learning, or so it's claimed. Metropolitan State University of Denver, an institution that promised me the world but delivered a mere speck of dust. Oh, how I wish my tale were a fable of triumph, but alas, it's a saga of sorrow and disillusionment. As I walked through the campus gates, my heart was aflutter with dreams of academic enlightenment and self-discovery. But as the days turned to weeks, and weeks to months, the harsh reality of this institution began to unfurl like the petals of a wilting flower. The professors, my once revered mentors, trudged through lectures with the enthusiasm of a snail in molasses. Their words, devoid of passion, fell on our ears like the monotonous drip of a leaky faucet. One might think that the art of pedagogy had been lost to time, replaced by a performative dance of indifference. It's as if they've forgotten the very essence of teaching, the spark that ignites curiosity and kindles the flame of knowledge. Take, for instance, the sage of computer science, a man whose teachings were as outdated as the dusty tomes in the campus library. His wisdom, once sought after, now rusted and obsolete, left us ill-prepared for the ever-evolving tapestry of technology. We were taught to memorize, not to understand, to regurgitate, not to innovate. The irony, dear friends, is that in a field that thrives on innovation, we were shackled to the past, our potential stifled by antiquated methodologies. And oh, the administrative labyrinth, a maze so convoluted that even Theseus would think twice before entering. The Minotaur within, a bureaucratic beast that feasted on our time and patience. Forms upon forms, signatures scattered like breadcrumbs, leading not to treasure but to the gaping maw of frustration. The staff, overwhelmed and underprepared, seemed more like hapless adventurers than seasoned guides. The facilities, once bright with the promise of learning, now dimmed by neglect and disrepair. The paint peeled from the walls like the skin of an onion, revealing the layers of indifference beneath. The chairs, creaky and worn, whispered tales of countless behinds that had sought solace in their embrace, only to be met with discomfort. Now let's talk about finances, a topic as pleasant as a root canal without anesthesia. The tuition fees, a veritable king's ransom, were but the opening act in a grand play of financial woe. Hidden fees and unexpected charges popped up like whack-a moles, each one a blow to our already strained coffers. The financial aid office, a place where hope went to die, was a theatre of the absurd, where there was written in riddles and the actors spoke in tongues. I remember the day I was to graduate, a day that should have been emblazoned with triumph and pride. But as I walked across the stage, my name, my identity, was mangled by the tongue of the announcer. It was as if my years of toil and tribulation were reduced to a mere afterthought, a footnote in the annals of this institution. And now, as I stand on the precipice of the so-called real world, I find myself saddled with debt, a scarlet letter branded upon my financial being. The promises of career advancement and opportunity ring hollow in my ears, for the reality is a marketplace that seems to turn a blind eye to my sacrifices. So here I am, my friends, sharing with you a tale of heartache and disenchantment. A story not of a warrior's valorous deeds, but of a dreamer's broken spirit. Yet in this shared sorrow there is a sliver of solidarity. For in your comments, your nods of agreement, we find a kinship in our collective disillusionment. We are the voices in the wilderness, crying out against a system that has failed us. We are the dreamers whose dreams were deferred on the altar of apathy. But take heart, for in our unity there is strength. And perhaps
businesses near the Metropolitan State University of Denver, feel like they were built to test how much disappointment a human heart can hold before it turns into a small, bitter raisin. I walked the grid of streets that radiate from the campus like spokes on a broken wheel, and every doorway seemed to sigh. We are sorry. We are closed. We are out of soap. We are out of mercy. The air itself smells of burnt coffee, old fryer oil, and the metallic tang of a cash drawer that just ate your last 20. Let me tell you what the shops here are like, so you can pack extra patience instead of hope. Shopping near the university is a ghost tour with price tags. Take Denver Pavilions, the outdoor mall that pretends it is still alive. Half the storefronts are papered over with faded, Coming soon posters that have sun-bleached into going nowhere. The escalators sleep like drunk dinosaurs, and the bathrooms are locked behind a secret code that only appears on a receipt, which means you must first buy something you do not want, probably a stale pretzel, just to earn the right to pee. One family spent $30 on candy they did not need, received the magic numbers, and still found the hallway door bolted. A security guard shrugged and pointed them toward a bar that does not allow children. So the kids learned early that the city charges for biology and then denies the biology while you stand there, clutching your bladder and your dignity. Alarms blare at the metal detector out front, but nobody checks the pockets of the people who set them off. The mall is a polite way of saying, "We give up, but please leave money on your way out." If you need to recover from that trauma with a coffee, the cafes will finish the job. The molecule effect looks like it was designed by someone who read about hospitality in a dystopian novel and thought, "Yes, let us do that, but louder." The barista with the permanent baseball cap will argue with you about the definition of a latte until you begin to doubt your own tongue. Order a pistachio white chocolate drink, and you will receive something that tastes like a wine-soaked BLT, a flavor that should not exist in nature or in cups. They block your phone signal unless you surrender to their Wi-Fi, so you cannot even tweet the warning. One man paid $6 for an Italian soda that arrived as syrup, soda, half and half, and a mountain of whipped cream, a chemistry experiment gone rogue. When he asked for a refund, the staff stared as if he had requested unicorn milk. The music is so loud that your thoughts arrive with reverb. And if a jazz trio suddenly appears, they will play directly into your ear canal until your headache has its own heartbeat. The website swears you can phone in an order, but the woman who answers will inform you, voice flat as day-old espresso, that you must use the app or drive over and stand in line to order. Then wait again to receive what you already ordered. It is a circle drawn by someone who hates circles and people. Maybe you decide you deserve a massage after this because your shoulders are now wearing your ears. Woodhouse Spa will take your money weeks in advance, then call you 90 minutes before the appointment to announce that your therapist no longer works on planet Earth. They keep your gift card hostage anyway. If you do slip past the front desk, they forget the robe, the slippers, the promised glass of champagne, and sometimes the actual shower. One woman left coated in sesame oil like a stir-fry, ruining her car seats and her favorite dress. The towel they offered was the size of a polite napkin. Another guest met the nail technician from Wednesday, who had magically transformed into the massage therapist on Saturday, rubbing lotion in slow, confused circles for 80 minutes while whispering, "Subject to change," like a tiny meditation on capitalism.
A mother arrived with her 2-month-old baby and was told children breathe the wrong kind of oxygen. Here the manager escorted her out, as if the stroller contained a ticking bomb. The receptionist will still cheerfully suggest an 18% tip before you limp away, slick and fragrant, a human spring roll. By now you are hungry, so you wander into Los Molinos restaurant, where the buffet glows under heat lamps like artifacts in a crime scene. The rice crunches because it has aged into gravel. The fresh meat they bring from the back tastes like it was fresh during a previous presidency. One diner spotted a roach marching across the steam table. The server squashed it with her bare hand, wiped it on her.
Yesterday, I was walking along Auraria Parkway, right where Metropolitan State University of Denver sits, and I noticed every lamp post has these shiny QR stickers. Tourist families scan them to pay for parking, because signs say scan to pay. They tap their phones, type card numbers, and boom, 3 days later the bank calls asking who spent $800 in California. The visitors probably cried at the airport gate, clutching receipts that meant nothing, while the scammers printed new stickers somewhere else. Never caught, just laughing over free money. Businesses near Metropolitan State University of Denver are like card reader Buffett's tiny machines taped on every counter, looking normal. In the corner store by the campus bookshop, a girl bought chips last month. She tapped her card, lights blinked. The clerk gave a polite smile. Next morning, her account was empty. Police say crooks slip tiny black boxes over the real reader at night. The store never notices because customers keep flowing. She probably spent the rest of her vacation eating plain bagels from the free breakfast bar, posting sad selfies so people knew she was alive, while the scammer used her cash to buy new sneakers. Businesses near Metropolitan State University of Denver